Hi everybody, welcome back. So last time we talked about farmers, we talked about the first cities a little bit. We talked about how basically the idea is to become noticeable historically around 10,000 BC. And a lot of people think that's because that's when glaciers disappeared, and so there was actually land you could farm when the earth was getting a bit warmer. It was actually possible to be a farmer. But moving on from that, one thing I didn't really talk about before was where did these first cities come from? Where specifically do they come to be? And the answer we'll find is quite often in river valleys. In fact, pretty much always in river valleys. So the valley where this river brings a lot of water and kind of floods the area at times, or it just kind of moves through an area. And why do these civilizations tend to emerge around rivers? Well, if you think about it, it's water, right? Water is extremely important on a variety of levels. Of course, the big one is people need water. People really need water for food, and for their own sustenance, and also to grow food, to water their crops. So irrigation is going to be a real important thing. That is sort of the act of moving water from a river to your crops so that it can actually be used. And that's something that people are going to figure out, and that's part of why cities emerge and why hierarchies emerge. Is people are trying to take advantage of water, control it, manipulate it, so that they can grow their crops and make things happen, basically. Make there be enough food for themselves and for other people. And so then you get people in positions of power controlling that, managing other people's labor, or sometimes forcing labor, or having more land than anybody else, that they make somebody else work their own land that they own. Stuff like that is how the first hierarchies emerge and people develop power. Then on top of that, water is also extremely useful for transportation. Fun fact, it's about 4 times faster to send anything by water that is down a river than it is to try and transport the same distance over land. Because in ancient times, it's just hard to move stuff over land. You've got, horses and oxes and things, but boats can just move along the river so much faster. And then if you get the ocean involved, then it's even wilder. It's like something like 40 instead of 4, because you can just sail across the ocean and catch those big winds. So it's pretty wild how much water makes a big difference. So it's going to be handy to have these rivers for economic reasons as well. Transporting, what am I talking about? Transporting things and having trade and having people be able to trade stuff with each other. That's going to be a big deal too. Okay, so you might have seen this diagram from the book. If it'll update, there we go. And that shows 4 of the early river valley civilizations, 4 out of the 6 that we're going to look at. Our early time period of class is going to be dominated by these 6 civilizations. And so we're going to look at them each, and we're going to see how they emerged. But as you'll see, they're all along rivers. We've got the Nile River in Egypt, we've got the Tigris and the Euphrates in Mesopotamia, the Indus in India, and we've got the Yangtze and the Yellow Rivers in China. We're also going to see rivers in the Americas. That's the last 2 that aren't on this slide here, that are going to be a big deal there as well. So rivers are very important, and that's where these cities start to emerge, is towns right along the rivers. And the towns start to become cities, and the cities become bigger and bigger, and pretty soon you have these cultures that we recognize. And the first one of these that we're really going to take a look at today is Mesopotamia. So Mesopotamia is what it literally means. It's a Greek word which means in the middle of the rivers. And our slide here that shows us the Tigris and the Euphrates, we've got 2 rivers, and a civilization is going to emerge in cities between the rivers, because these 2 rivers are extremely useful. If we take a look at Google Earth here,